Hey guys, this is Bailey from Bailey's Bets, and we're back with another episode looking at the TG Casino. And this time we're going to be focusing on their burn mechanism to see how that is going, how that's helping the price of the token. And we're going to use a little math to create some extremely bullish predictions going forward. So stick around, guys, because you're not going to want to miss this one here. All right. So check this out, guys. So after the token the pre-sale was over. Now they completed their pre-sale pretty quickly, so they didn't need all these extra rounds. A lot of people kind of gobbled up that pre-sale, especially once it got towards the end there, and they actually ended up with extra tokens in their deployer wallet. And this is in the news channel that you can check this out in the Telegram. And what they decided to do with that, because they weren't going to allocate it to to the pre-sale because they didn't need to. They had already hit their $5 million target. So what they ended up doing, guys, was, they said that, hey, we got 12 million reserved for airdrops for the different seasons that they're doing. They had their 4 million for the affiliate influencer deals, 1 million reserved for the NFT airdrop, but they had a total extra of 25 million tokens. And one thing they decided to do, which was pretty awesome, was add more to staking. All right. So give back to the players and the loyal supporters. They created a season 3 airdrop, which is pretty awesome. All right. They saved a little extra for potential marketing and centralized exchange deals and further rewards and incentives for players, which is pretty cool. But 10 million, all right, for strategic burn events. So instead of 100 million tokens, really you can think of this as like 90 million tokens for the kind of like the original supply of TGC Casino. All right, so that's pretty amazing, guys. So we're going to take a look, all right, at how these tokens has evolved, or the burn of the tokens have evolved over time. And let's take a look at some of the price action that we've seen so far. Okay, so they had a 5K, 500K, excuse me, buybacks. Or capital allocated for the buybacks, kind of like right out of the gun. And over the course of time, late at the end of February, they added another 250K of capital that they're going to use for buybacks. All right. And this is pretty impressive because as a new business and a new casino, they're going to be able to scale and to increase their buybacks over time. But a lot of times there's a lot of upfront costs and they need to get all the marketing underway and all that stuff. So for them to aggressively go after the buybacks this early is pretty awesome and pretty impressive. All right, so let's check this out, guys. So what I did was I went through all of the Twitter posts that talked about the buybacks, right? And so far, guys, they had started the buybacks early February. All right. So the token launches January 4th. All right. And then there's a token unlock event 10 days later. The price of the token dips a little bit because there's this big unlock. And then, guys, the price kind of stayed down a little bit. And then all of a sudden it started shooting up. And in addition to that was the kick in of some of the burns for the tokens. All right. Now, if we take a look, guys, the very first token burn, all right, 2 million tokens. Now that was from that initial 10 million that they had left over. Okay. So what's interesting about that is if you're going to burn tokens, if they're not coming from the liquidity pool, it's going to actually have no effect or no positive price action at all. Okay. Basically, what that does, though, is it's going to ensure that those tokens never go into circulation and never get sold into the liquidity pool, dropping the price. All right. So it kind of preserves like long-term price floor and price preservation, but it actually doesn't increase the price of the token. Okay. So the first 2 million, boom, burnt February 3rd. Okay. And then another 1 million tokens. Okay. That was again from that stash. So 3 million so far been burned from that initial stash. Boom, February 5th. Okay. Now that does not help the price of the token at all short term. Okay. All right, then we have February 19th. Okay, we have 100, a little more than 100K tokens. Okay, and that's that first time, February 19th, where they're actually taking tokens out of the liquidity pool. All right, that actually does support and drive up the price of the token a little bit. All right, so we're going to take a look at that. So that was 60, close to 69. Yes, 69 grand, close to 69 grand there. Okay. And then, guys, we have another 2 million tokens burned. All right. Again, that's from that initial stash of 10 million extra. All right. So now we got 2, 3, 5 million burned from that initial stash. All right. And then we got on February 20th, another 5 million. Okay. So that's that 10 million extra from that initial collection. Okay. So you can actually see here, guys, that up until February 20th, so this is a good 6-7 weeks after the token launches, they've only had one true buyback that had any sort of price action at all on it. All right. And that's for that $69,000, okay, of tokens. All right. So you might be able to see like some people like, oh, like where's the buybacks? Where's the burns? And get like maybe like a little impatient. The tokenomics of this absolute juggernaut has not even like come into effect yet. Like people are going to be really surprised, and we're going to see that upcoming in the video, like how much the burn is going to improve the price of the token. But we haven't really seen much of anything yet, which is really exciting. All right. February 26th, guys. So they do another buyback. All right. For a little more than 100K. And that's about 68 grand. Okay. All right. So there. And then we have another 1 million tokens. Now that 10 million initials is already gone. So this was tokens that came out of that liquidity pool, all right, over time. All right, they've been doing a little over time, which is nice. And then they'll announce like a batch that they have bought back. So that's 360K. All right. So taking a chunk out of that initial 500K that they had set aside. And the guys, yet again, guys, Pit Boss, man, we got another 69K. I wonder if he just like stops at that number. It's just like, it's a lucky number, right? All right, 163 more thousand tokens. Okay, so guys, we have really only 88.4% of the initial 100 million tokens left to be had. So left in our kind of circulating supply. Some of them are still being held back, for the airdrops and all that stuff, but not bad. That's a pretty good rate. 100 million is not a lot of tokens right off the get-go. All right, if you think about some of the other coins and protocols out there. Okay. All right, so not bad. All right, so what does this look like? Okay, so if we check this out, guys, what I did was I ended up kind of like totaling up how much that they actually have spent so far on buyback and burns. All right, and we got this 69,000, and then we got this 68,000, 360,000, and that 69,000. All right. And if you take a look at that, that is about, let's see, let's go to our good old calculator here. And we'll see on the calculator here, if we add up those 4 times where the tokens were removed from the liquidity pool, it's about $567,000 worth of buyback so far that the team has completed. And what I did was I just took that value and divided it by the current price of ETH. All right. Now, at the time of this recording, ETH is getting like hammered a little bit, just dropped below 3,400. So using today's price of ETH, the team has put into the liquidity pool about 167.21 ETH and has pulled out TGC token for the buyback. Okay, so that's pretty awesome, guys. So 167.21 ETH into the liquidity pools, raising the price of the tokens. Okay, all right. So let's check this out again, guys. Woo. Okay, so that's how much so far that the team has put in. And what I want to do is kind of show you guys where if say they have another kind of successful month, right? If we put in that same amount of capital into the liquidity pool to buy back more token for the burn and for the staking rewards, exactly what that would look like for our price action. Okay, so we can get kind of like a nice little prediction of maybe how much this buyback program is influencing the price now that it's going to be like in full steam. Okay. And by the way, guys, like I'm sticking with the current figure that they had, but if you're like tuning in to what is going on here, um, it's getting a little crazy, all right? A little nutty, absolute bananas actually, because March 4th, all right, we go over $305 million wagered in the casino already. All right. 2 months after token launch, that's pretty sick. Okay. March 14th, they hit a record of $12 million, or March 13th, $12 million wagered in just one day. All right. Shattering their previous record of 8.6 million. And then Pit Boss, love this guy. Let's put a little smiley face there. All right. This guy comes out on X today and he's dropping this crazy knowledge here where we're seeing some parabolic improvements in our withdrawals, a total wager, deposits, all of these metrics that they're looking at. And it's just absolutely crushing it. Now, this guy's like pretty humble and like pretty measured and doesn't really like to get people like super like fired up or like like unrealistic. But like this guy's like, we're coming after steak, man. Look out, Drake. We're coming at you. All right. Like that, this is like insane. Because like the numbers are just really, really, especially for people who have experience in the industry, like so they know like what's realistic, like they're just blowing it out of the water, which is amazing. Their last 2 weeks they're averaging over 10 million wagered every single day. All right, so pretty amazing stuff, guys. So generating profits, and those profits they're probably going to be put towards that like buyback and burn, right? Like, yeah. Like, so the buyback and burn is probably going to be increasing over time, obviously as the casino gains more adoption and more profitability and all that stuff. But we're going to be sticking with just like, what if we just keep what we did in March and this so far in March and February, that like chunk of time. And if that happens again, like next month, what would this look like? All right. What would this look like? Just to give us some ideas. Okay. All right, guys. Time to abandon ship. It's math time. Oh no. All right. So guys, I'm actually a math teacher, so I like to break out these handy dandy fancy little calculators from time to time here. And what we're actually seeing right here is the liquidity pool for the TGC token with ETH. Okay, so this is the Uniswap version 2 liquidity pool. When you go to Uniswap to buy the TGC token, or when the team goes to purchase the TGC token from the market, all right, this is where they're going. Okay, and the way the version 2 Uniswap liquidity pools work, all right, is that we have this thing called the constant product formula. All right, so this is called an AMM, automated market maker. Basically, it exists a liquidity pool where it's one-sided. You go and you can transact. You don't need like a second party, a buyer on the other end. That's what's cool about decentralized finance, right? So we have this liquidity pool, guys, and basically all you have to do is to get this formula. It's called it's X times Y equals K. Okay, and K is this constant that never changes, but the X and Y represent the value, the quantity of the two tokens. All right, and all I do is, you can go to any type of DEX tools or DEX screener, and you can just get the current amount of the tokens that are in the liquidity pool, and then you just multiply them together to get that constant. Okay, so this graph here shows us the combination of all the ETH and the TGC token that can exist in the liquidity pool at any one time. Okay. And so all I do is I multiply those together, and then I make my equation x times y. So the two tokens multiplied together are always going to equal this big nasty number right here. That's just a constant. All right. So that's what helps us create this curve. All right. Now, where we're at the time of this recording is currently in the liquidity pool. There's 347.79 ETH sitting in that liquidity pool, and it's paired with just under like 1.9 million TGC token. All right, 1,886,908 TGC tokens right now are sitting paired in that liquidity pool together. All right, so that's where we're at on our constant product formula curve. Okay. So I'm able to kind of like be able to say, all right, let's add some value into this and let's see what the price of these tokens are going to look like. Okay. So first of all, guys, to get the prices, okay, if you ever want to do find price for the TGC token, all right, so price per token, okay, is you take the value of the asset that's paired with your TGC, and you just divide it by the number of TGC tokens, price per TGC. So if we do ETH divided by the TGC, you get this crazy little number right here. All right. And that's the number you're going to see, like if you went to like DEX tools, that's the number you see like right here. Okay. It just means the ETH divided by the TGC. Okay. And then guys, to get like the value that we usually look at when we're like buying and selling is the price in like USD value. And you just take basically the amount of ETH and you multiply it by the price of ETH. So now you get like the dollars that's in the pool. All right, so all the value of the ETH in USD divided by the number of tokens. And that gives us right now at the time of this recording about 62.5 cents per TGC token. Okay, so you can see that value right here. Okay, now it's a little bit higher now because something updated. Either the price of ETH maybe moved a little bit, or there's been some transactions in the pool. Okay, but it's pretty much close to where it's at right now, currently at the time of this recording. All right, so here we go, guys. So that's how you would find the price. It's actually just the value divided by the number of TGC tokens. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do, guys. So the team is going to take, all right, that like $560,000, all right, that they've put into the liquidity pool for burns, and they're going to be doing it again, okay? Now, this is just like 1 month, all right? So kind of like our next time stretch, like how much positive momentum is that going to actually have on the price of this token? Are the people that are jeeting this token out like it's no tomorrow because they don't understand that the engine has not even gotten warm yet, going to be crying? Yeah, they are actually. All right, so let's check this out, guys. So the potential burn price appreciation. So here's what's going to happen, guys. All right, so the team is going to be buying, all right, or getting ETH and going to be putting it into the liquidity pool, and they're going to be taking out the TGC token. Okay, so what happens, guys, is over the course of time, all right, so say if they take that amount, they're going to have 167.21 ETH that they're going to be putting into the liquidity pool. All right, so we got that from like this figure right here. Okay, and we currently have this amount, all right, that 347 amount of ETH. So if the team puts in another 167, that's going to bring the total amount of ETH up to 515 ETH sitting in this pool, right? 515 Ethereum. Okay, so all I have to do is I'm just going to look, right? Go to my x-axis. I look up to see on my curve there, all right, where 515 ETH is going to land us for TGC tokens. Okay, now every single time that TGC token is purchased, the price moves a little bit. It goes up and up and up. Okay, but 515 515 ETH is going to result in 1,274,000 267.443 TGC tokens left, all right, in this liquidity pool. Okay, and you can always get that too by kind of like you looking over at the y-axis. Terrible memories of high school, right? Okay, but what we see, guys, is that yeah, so as more ETH goes in, all right, more tokens leave the pool. Okay, so we could figure out if we wanted to subtract those to figure out how much tokens they've taken out. Okay, but let's just focus on like what's the price going to be after they do this. Okay, and if we take a look, guys, all we have to do is we take that ETH price, right, which is a little low today, times 515, that's in there, and then you just divide it by the number of TGC tokens that were left. Okay, and just after like one extra little month, so if the team has 560,000, if they do another 560,000 of purchases of this token, we're talking $1.37 per TGC. All right, so more than a 2x from where we're at now, double the price and add a little extra. And potentially, guys, we're talking just even in 1 month's time, all right, a double up of price plus FOMO, right? People are like going crazy, all right? Knowledgeable people that are watching this video right now, like you and me, we're like stacking this up, like not like, DCAing like crazy, because the play is they burn the tokens, we take the tokens, we lock up the tokens in staking, and there is just like this enormous kind of pressure on the supply of the token that this price is going to pop. You keep the tokens in staking, and then you just collect and collect and collect those staking reward dividends. Like that's the play. You never have to sell your tokens. You're just kind of building a position in that staking pool, and then you're just going to be getting a passive income from this tremendously successful casino. Like that is the true play. It's not to actually like dump the token or but it's like it's amazing what the price appreciation is going to look like once this engine gets going. All right, people just don't know it yet. But if you tuned into this channel here, you've hit like, you've hit subscribe, you have told people about this crazy dude with a graphing calculator that's telling you that TG Casino is going to be a very, very good, wise place to look at and potentially consider for a spot in your portfolio. You know what I'm saying? And I just like the premise. I like the idea. I like the team. So I decided to make some videos on it and kind of share my enthusiasm for the project with everyone else out there. All right, guys. Yeah, so thanks very much. I really appreciate it tuning in. And until next time, this is Bailey from Bailey's Bets. I'm out.